Hello, my name is Jody Marks, and I am the author of this book. It's called Creek Serenade. It's about two boys who realize they're more than just friends during a week at summer camp. It's a novel, but almost all of it is loosely based on my own personal experiences in one way or another. It's a love story, a coming of age story, but it's about other things too. It's about growing up gay and the process of figuring all that out. It's about growing up in the South, meaning the southeastern United States. It's about scouting, which was an important part of my life for a long time growing up. It's also about sexual abuse and trauma. No spoilers, but here's your general trigger warning. It gets pretty rough at times. It's the proverbial emotional roller coaster, the highest highs and the lowest lows. It's a tearjerker in the best ways and the worst ways. I've cried more writing and editing and thinking about this book than I have in years. It's about kids. The characters are young, but in my opinion, it's not a book for kids. I think it would be all right for older teens. Anybody who could go see an R-rated movie would probably be fine with it, but if you're an adult thinking about buying this for a kid, please read it yourself first before you decide that. It's available from a bunch of different retailers in paperback, ebook, and audiobook formats. There are links in the video description to the book in all of its forms on Amazon and Audible, but you should be able to find it just about anywhere that sells books if you prefer to buy it elsewhere. There's also a soundtrack on Spotify. If you search for a playlist titled Creek Serenade, you'll find a list of songs that follow the story and have basically been the soundtrack of my life for the last several months while I've been working on this. I'm really proud of this book. I'm really happy to be able to share it with all of you. Please go buy it, read it, enjoy it, then go back, leave a 5-star rating, and write a lovely review to help other people find it. Thank you for watching, thank you in advance for reading, and I hope you love this book as much as I do. If you're listening on the Knowledgeable Provider podcast feed, I'm going to play the first chapter from the audiobook for you now, as a special thank you to listeners who have already been supporting me in that endeavor. I appreciate your patience while I've been working on this audiobook, and we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming as soon as I can stand to listen to the sound of my own voice again. So here you go. This is the prologue from the audiobook version of my novel, Creek Serenade. Enjoy. Start by making a loop, overhand, like this. Drew flips his wrist and a loop appears in the short length of rope. I mimic him. Now grab the running end with your other hand. Watch. The rabbit comes out of the hole, goes around the tree, and back into the hole. I follow the path with my own rabbit. Great. Now just pull it tight like so. Voila. Bowlin'. That's it? Yep, it's that simple. People talk about the bowlin' like it's the holy grail of Jedi-level pioneering. I've been trying to figure it out on my own for a week by looking at pictures in the Boy Scout handbook. Drew taught it to me in 10 seconds. It's super useful, he continues. Won't slip, but still easy to untie even after it's been under load. Try it again. I untie my knot and start over. Loop, through the hole, around the tree, through the hole, pull it tight. Voila. Great job. He holds his palm up and I slap it. He's been working with me like this for months, every Tuesday night since I joined the troop. We meet in what amounts to an attic over a garage in the back parking lot of a church. The building and the troop have both been here forever. We have members whose brothers, fathers, and even grandfathers' pictures line the wall along with the ancient-looking ribbons they won and the tattered flags they carried. The room is hot in the summer, cold in the winter, and always smells like the musty, scratchy sections of rope we're using right now. One wall is reserved for honoring all of the troop's former Eagle Scouts. Their names are engraved in elegant script on small metal plates arranged in rows on huge, ornate plaques that are certainly too heavy for whatever fasteners have been holding them up since the Great War. Walking into this room is like entering a museum and a playground at the same time. It has quickly become one of my very favorite places. Just as quickly, Drew has become one of my very favorite people. I was aware of him during Cub Scouts, but since he is a year older, we were never in the same group. I was nervous about moving up into the troop with the older boys this year, but Drew has made it wonderful for me. He has even stopped working on his own advancement right now so he can focus on helping me. I have almost finished the requirements for first class. When I do, he and I will be the same rank. We already have the same name. I go by Andrew, so it's not too confusing. The other boys call us Drew 1 and Drew 2. I'm number 2 since I'm younger, and he was here first. They tried calling us by our last names for a while. He's Patterson and I'm Harris, but it never really stuck. Plus, there's another Patterson, Drew's brother, Brad. He's several years older and not like Drew at all. He shows up sporadically, sometimes walking in when the meeting is half over. Despite the age difference, he's only star, one rank above Drew. I'm not sure he's ever spoken directly to me, and I've almost never seen him and Drew interact. They don't seem hostile toward one another. Indifferent is more accurate. I suspect the way Drew treats me is how he would like Brad to treat him. I've never been brave enough to ask him about it, though. Tonight is the last meeting before we head to summer camp next week. I've been hearing tales of Camp Crooked Creek from the other boys all year. I'm excited, but also nervous since it will be my first time away from home for a whole week without a family member. My dad was very involved during Cub Scouts, but now I think he wants me to keep going on my own, which is fine with me. He has to work next week, so he couldn't come with us anyway. Drew joined the troop just in time to go to camp last year, but Brad and their dad went along. He's going by himself this year, too. We have already agreed to share a tent and take the same merit badge classes, so it doesn't feel so much like going alone. I doubt he would be worried about it either way. As far as I can tell, he is fearless. All right, everyone, quiet down. It's Matthew. He's our senior patrol leader, the highest youth leadership position in every Boy Scout troop. I gather it isn't like this everywhere, but here in Troop 62, adults are around in the background to facilitate activities and provide guidance. Youth run the show. Matthew took over the top job a few months before I arrived, so even though he's still somewhat new himself, he's the only leader I have known. As he walks to the front of the room, I'm struck by how confidently he fills his role. He's 15, but looks older, strong and lean, with straight, dark hair and dark eyes that survey the room with an uncommon combination of keen intelligence, calm authority, and gentle kindness. Coming up into the troop on his watch has been the other major factor that has made the experience less intimidating for me. He holds up his arm in the scout sign, thumb touching little finger, the other three held together vertically. Among other things, it's the universal shut up symbol at scouting functions. The room falls silent as we all hold up the sign in response. We lower our arms only after he lowers his. As you all know, we're finally headed back to Crooked Creek next week. A few excited whoops go up from the crowd. We will meet here Sunday morning at 6:30 to finish loading the trailer. That's 6:30 a.m. We're pulling out of the parking lot at 7 o'clock sharp, so if you're not here by then, you're getting left behind. It's a 6-hour drive, so we can't afford to get a late start. Does anyone not have a packing list? He waves a sheet of paper in the air. No response. You can pack however you like, but I recommend using a footlocker. They're big enough to hold everything you need for the week, and they fit nicely in your tent. You can use a small backpack to carry around your books, water bottle, and whatever else you might need during the day. He goes through the entire packing list, emphasizing the most important items. I wish I didn't have to say this, but I know better from past experience. You will all be bathing every day, no exceptions. Even if you forget everything else, please bring soap and clean underwear. And deodorant. For the love of God, bring deodorant. This troop might stink figuratively, but we will not stink literally. Self-conscious laughter permeates the audience. Also, remember we're going to the mountains of Kentucky, much higher elevation than we're used to. It's hot during the day like it is here, but you'll be surprised how cold it gets at night. The older boys all nod in agreement. I thought they were kidding about that last year, Drew whispers in my ear. I froze my ass off every night. He's not kidding. Got it, I whisper back. Matthew continues. Make sure you bring some warm clothes, at least one pair of long pants, wool socks, and a jacket. And you'll definitely want a sleeping bag rated for colder weather. If anyone needs one, there are a few spares in the equipment closet back there. Those have been in there since before all of us were born, so I would suggest using your own, but they would probably keep you alive at least. Does anyone have any questions? No one speaks. After waiting a few seconds for last-minute questions, Matthew claps his hands together. Fantastic. Crooked Creek's a special place to me personally and has become a special place to this troop. I can't wait for those of you who have never been to experience it, and I'm happy that I get to experience it with you. He grins and glances around the room at all of the younger boys, including me. If no one has any questions, you're free to go. I will see you all back here bright and early Sunday morning. The room, already teeming with excitement and anticipation, now fills with a cacophony of folding chairs, scraping across the floor, and murmuring voices. Everyone seems to look forward to this week all year long. It's one of the few troop activities that I never hear a cynical or exasperated word about. Someone who didn't know better might think the journey to Crooked Creek was a religious pilgrimage if they heard some of the boys talking about it. They speak its name in the hushed, reverent tones reserved for topics of the utmost seriousness. Drew takes our ropes back to their storage container in the closet, then we walk downstairs together. Brad didn't attend the meeting, but I see and hear his raggedy Corvette idling in the parking lot when we emerge from the building. It has the potential to be a cool old car, but somehow in his possession, it's just old. Drew and I exchange a formal handshake like usual, but this time he pulls me toward him and throws his other arm around my shoulders, patting me on the back. I'm so surprised that I don't react quickly enough to return the hug before he pulls away again. I'm really excited about next week, he says as we separate. I can't wait. Even in the orange glow of the streetlight in the parking lot, I can see his eyes sparkling. I'm excited too. I'll see you Sunday, I reply, matching his tone. He takes a few backward steps with his eyes still locked onto mine, grinning, before turning and walking the rest of the way to the car. The door groans loudly as he opens it. I can still see him grinning at me as his head disappears inside. Brad guns the engine and they shoot through the parking lot way too fast. If the car was mechanically sound, it might have been impressive, but judging by the sound of the engine, there's a decent chance they won't even make it home. I stand in the cloud of noxious exhaust and watch the 3 operational taillights disappear down the street. Idiot. I hadn't noticed Matthew standing next to me. He said it under his breath, so quietly that I bet he doesn't even know I heard him. When I turn to look at him, he's shaking his head, still staring at the spot where we last saw the car. Those two are a lot different, huh? My voice quivers. Even after being around him for several months now, I am still completely starstruck by Matthew. Being this close to him by myself makes me feel self-conscious and nervous, like I just ran into Will Smith on the sidewalk and have a single chance to say something coherent. Polar opposites, he confirms. If he senses my discomfort, he doesn't acknowledge it. We need more Drews and fewer Brads in the world. He looks over at me, maybe just now fully realizing I'm here. I shouldn't have said that. Please forgive me. I laugh a little too loudly. The truth hurts, I say, clumsily. He shrugs. Do you need a ride home? I glance dubiously at his motorcycle parked next to the door of the Scout building. I have an extra helmet, he adds brightly. I can't deny I'm tempted, but I'm way more afraid of what my parents would say if I showed up on the back of a motorcycle driven by a 15-year-old, assuming we didn't die in a fiery crash before we got there. Plus, my house is a block away. No thanks, I'm good. I can walk home. Very well then. See you Sunday, Drew 2. He pulls on his helmet and secures the strap, throws his leg over the saddle, and hits the starter. The engine fires. He kicks it into gear, flashes me a Scout salute over his helmet, and glides out of the parking lot at a very reasonable speed. I return the salute and watch until he's out of sight, then head toward home. Everyone left quickly. The parking lot is already deserted. When I make it out to the sidewalk, I turn around and survey the whole scene. It's a little red brick building behind a little red brick church in Sheffield, Alabama, where a Sunday school classroom is named in honor of my grandfather, where my father and I were both baptized. In daylight, I can see the roof of my house from here, the house my great-grandfather built almost 100 years ago, where my grandfather planted a tree in the front yard the year I was born, where I visited my grandmother on Thanksgiving and Christmas, and where my parents and I moved in last year after she had to go to the nursing home. It occurs to me that I'm standing in the center of my world right now, not metaphorically, geographically, mathematically. So far, I'm the 4th generation of Harrises to never stray too far from this spot. But at 7 o'clock on Sunday morning, I'll climb into the old van parked behind the old building with my new favorite people and go farther away from here than I've ever been before. There's no way I can know it right now, but I'm about to become the first Harris to make it a hell of a lot farther than Kentucky from the center of our world, metaphorically. Matthew said it takes 6 hours to get there. It will take me a lifetime to return.